What's up, peoples? This video is called Coping into Understanding after you lost like a parent, a father, mother, whichever one's your best friend. It could be one, it could be both. So this is the first time I have ever experienced it, and I'm trying to cope with it and understand it and share it so other people could have an easier experience in their grieving process. So I think I want to start with the word condolences. And in my brain, I was always like, what the fuck does that word mean? Like, why do people always say this shit? Like, it's so weird and annoying. And it's like, I got all these problems going on right now, and the condolences, what the fuck does it mean? So, these are some of my thoughts on the word. I'm cool with the word. I am sorry for your loss. Or I am so sorry for your loss. So the word is sorry. And sorry, it's similar to the word sorrow, like S-O-R-R, you know? So sorrow is like, let's say me hearing your mom died, and I already met your mom, and she seems cool as hell, and it's like I heard good things about her, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, that's no good, like when I hear it. So that I just went into sorrow. So if I say like I'm sorry, I feel sorry instead of saying I am sorry. I am sorry to me means, oh, I apologize. But I feel sorry is different because I feel sorrow. So it's kind of like saying the same thing. Like, I feel sorrow and I'm sorry. So it's like a dual situation. So I feel so sorry for your loss is my way of moving forward with understanding an emotional crisis like this. So it's the weirdest experience to lose a parent when you're not ready for it. And that's a harsh experience. So the parent, you know, a lot of them love their kids. Like, I used to daydream a lot. And I grew up with Asians, and they all stick together. So it's like the whole family could live in the house for a very long time until they're like one of them is ready to move. So it'll be like a bunch of them though. So they stick together. And it's like, I picked up that in this lifetime. So I used to say, when I start getting my kids, they could stay at home as long as they want to, yo. All of them, like, they could stay in the house. I ain't gonna kick them out. So that's my thoughts on that. And let's say I was to pass away, all my kids are like depending on me, yo, because I'm providing things for them. I got a house that they're staying in. And yeah, so there's like a little crisis going on in there. So the word "I'm so sorry for your loss" uh and my condolences, it was feeling like it's like garbage right now because I don't have the intelligence. I'm literally like a dummy, a doofus trooper when it comes to life because I never been in this experience, and I didn't experience the orchestration of funerals, so I didn't know the process. I mean, I attended a couple, but I just showed up. I said the same thing. I am so sorry for your loss. Because, that's how my brain uh like processed it over the years. Like that's the tradition, but as I'm getting older, like words not making sense too much. But now this makes sense if I say I feel so sorry for your loss. Because I too am sorry about it. Or if I had no connection to the person, I could say I am so sorry for your loss. Because, you know, I'm apologizing on behalf of the universe that you lost a loved one, but I'm not feeling the sorrow because I never met your family member. But I understand your tragic situation. So yeah, that's a interesting dynamic situation. So my experience from start to finish so far, or start to present, um, it started on Sunday. Today is Friday, Juneteenth, and Sunday, my dad passed away, and it's like so much on your plate. If you become the person, the next of kin that's designated to review things and stuff like that. So it was a learning experience. My dad passed away on Sunday, and then Monday, I was at the Chinese store getting Chinese food, and I ran into a neighbor, and I was like, "Yo, man, my pops passed away," and he was like, "Oh, damn, man." So he was feeling it, yo. He was really like feeling sorry that my dad is gone. He was like, "Your dad is such a nice man, yo." I was like, "Yeah, man." Uh, Quick question: what did you guys used to call him? Is it Mr. Wiley or something? And then he cracked. Well, he said no. We used to call him Bin Laden. So it's like he was laughing, but I don't know. This Bin Laden thing in America, it really affected my dad because he barely flew on planes. He has similar characteristics to Bin Laden, and I used to get like bullied and harassed for that shit. And it's just interesting, like the journey that my dad had to walk on this earth. So that was Monday. And then I was just like trying to like figure things out, try to process it a little bit. And I started to contact the funeral home probably Monday or Tuesday. And Um, it was so weird because there was like family drama going on with the burial process, and it's a little difficult to comprehend the weirdness. So I had to like take a lot of time for myself to just like work things out and figure it out. So when my dad first passed away, you call the family members, let them know, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, their words are, yeah, you guys have to figure it out. And that's it. Like, there's no guidance. There's no, hey, yeah, this happened to me when this, there was none of that shit. So, it was like a very harsh experience and a new reality, because you need to like rapidly assess the situation and handle it accordingly. And it's like nobody has answers. So I called my dad's best friend, and his name is Jonathan Russell. And currently he's in Florida. And my dad's best friend is a Jamaican guy. He didn't really make too many friends with like Americans because they all like attack him with that Bin Laden stuff. So my dad's best friend over the years while in America is a Jamaican guy. And John Russell was the one that just like reached into my mind in my crisis and just started explaining to me, breaking it down from his experience with his wife. And it's like nobody in my family was doing this for me. And then I'm the one in charge of handling my dad's stuff. So as the conversation is going, I shared with him the weirdness that my family is doing. And he gave me another piece of helpful advice. He's like, you know what, man? It's not about the body, it's about the soul. And his soul is in a good place or a better place. So it's okay to just let the body go. And don't worry about it. If you guys can't afford it, just do the next best option. So right there, after talking to John Russell, like the process just became so much easier when I developed understanding. So coping, right? Coping is like, it's like lifting weights. So if you're bench pressing, right? I don't know. Let's say I'm trying to bench press like 250 pounds. And it's like the most I've ever done is like 10. And then I put it up on a rack. Once I bring it down for a second set, or let's say I'm trying to do 20, when I get to 15, I'm coping with the pressure, trying to get to 20. So that's what coping is to me. And John, while I'm attempting to cope with the pressure, control my emotions, control my rage, control my anger, control my thoughts of the overwhelming sense of what's going on, and also to control my thoughts of suicide. Like, I was coping with the process. And then John, he basically just shared his experience and his insights and his wisdom, and it made the process so much easier. And now I had way to move forward with how I feel about the situation. So that's the thoughts about coping to understand. I think I know what's going on right now. There's some like official book for the sector of psychology, and they have a list of every single psychological label: PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, stuff like that. And what I think we're all experiencing is human race PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, or I guess we could call it current stress disorder. The human race current stress disorder. So it's from the past and it's present. So moving on to the next part. I'm going into the funeral homes and Jesus, music, and pastors, right? So my sisters, right? They are in so much respect for the church and the process of the church and this and that. But I don't have respect for the church. Even though my dad went to a Christian church situation, I'm considering myself a Christ angel, and it's still a Christian, spiritual church. So, I remember when I was trying to look into the different burial or the cremation process services. There was two different ones. There's a direct cremation and then an indirect, which is like there's a nice presentation with flowers and viewings and stuff like that. And the direct one, there is no flowers and viewings and stuff like that. It's just like a quick viewing with the immediate family and then straight to the ashes process. So, funeral homes and Jesus. The lady, she was trying to sell me the service, and I'm not holding anything against her. I mean, she went to college or whatever. She got her degrees to do this profession, and if that is the way she did it. But this Bible garbage with King James and the British royal family and all of the descendants of King James that's alive today, they are all selling these courses or like taking money from the royalties and the percentages of sales of the whole religious system. And there's a lot of criminal activities in it. So I was okay with just the body of my dad until this whole investigation is over, right? And the church. So I refused the musician because the musician, they sing a bunch of Jesus songs, and I'm not interested in this Jesus nonsense. And then the pastors speak a bunch of Jesus stuff, and I'm not really interested in the Jesus nonsense. So this process, I just wanted like a viewing, a honorable farewell to my dad. And you know, that's what I wanted. So there's a pastor and a minister, and I'm thinking the pastors, like, they talk a bunch of stuff about Jesus, but the minister, they just like stick to the program and get the the event like over and done with as quick as possible. So these are my thoughts on the distinctions between a pastor and a minister, as in what's the difference. Because I'm always seeing pastors online and all they do is talk Jesus. So I'm hoping the minister is just an administrator and he won't talk too much about Jesus, because it's like a weird criminal situation. So that was the path I was going to take when it comes to the Jesus and the church and the burial. I was hoping my dad stayed alive a little bit longer until I set up a couple other different things, man. And like, I remember Sunday when I found my dad unresponsive. It's like hearing all these bullshit stories about people coming back from their grave. Like somebody was dead and then they came back to life while they was getting their organs harvested, and then some people went into a casket and then they came back. So all them thoughts ran through my fucking brain. And like that hope was there. I was like, yo, people keep saying this shit about this whole Jesus Christ horse shit. Let me like at least try to get my dad back to life. Like, he could have been gone for a day or two, but let me try to like get my dad back to life, because I still need my pops right now. And like after the medics left that day, the lady came back with the machine in her hand, and within like less than 5 minutes, when they started working on my pops, she said she couldn't find the electric, whatever, I forgot the thing, but the electric signals when they hook you up to the AED. She said there was absolutely nothing. So he's gone, and I'm like, yeah. So when she came back with the machine, I already knew. I'm like, all right, whatever. So then she was like, yeah, he's gone. And I was like, all right. So I still needed my pops, man. And just for a little bit longer. Like, I know he was tired of all the pain that he was going through with the diabetic stuff. But he was a strong ass man, and he was just like putting up with everything, trying to like fight through life. And I needed him for a little bit longer, yo. So the next thing I'm going into is sibling rivalry and love and hate. So unless you're pure evil, you're not going to hate your siblings. You're not going to be like yelling at them, oh, I fucking hate you. I hate you this. I hate you that. I would say that's pure evil. But if you resent them and choose to stay away from them because of like weird stuff that took place, then, you know, that's a lower level of hate. And some families, they're capable of sticking together and some are not. So, I figured out a pro and a con when it comes to like a low level cremation and a nice level cremation. So a low level cremation is you don't dress the body. It's just a naked body. They cover the private areas, and then they put it in the ash making machine. So that process, right? People are attacking. Well, not attacking. I'm hearing people a couple people that are told that this is the option that the family's going. They are upset about the process. And I sat and I thought about it. And I'm like, yo, this is providing so much wisdom Because let's say I did not get fired on Memorial Day. I would have had all the money necessary. And I would have just like forked it up. I had $10,000 in savings. If I kept working, I probably would have had like $13,000 extra, right? No, well, total. And the funeral was like $7,000 ish, right? So based on whatever, I wasn't sure what additional costs would have happened. So it could have went up to like 8,000. And John Russell, he told me, he was like, wow, that's pretty cheap and affordable, like for a nice service. Because when he did it for his wife, he said it was like $20,000. So I thought it was pretty affordable too. When the lady gave me that quote, like 7,000 ish, I was like, yo, the family could do this shit. We could pull together the money. And it didn't happen. So if I didn't lose my job, I would have paid off the whole shit. But because I lost my job, and my two sisters and brother-in-law wasn't like trying to like step up and just like help out with the funeral or whatever, like the nice one, we went down to the lower one, and that's the poor man cremation, which is just a naked body. And I felt it was real disrespectful because my dad helped them make a lot of money in their lifetimes. Like my sister lived rent-free. Pierre has a nice portfolio, like really nice. He brags about how many properties he got. He don't have to want for nothing. And that's his mindset and mentality. So he couldn't come up with that money to properly bury my dad. But my dad, right, is a construction craftsman. And he does bathrooms, kitchens, siding, windows, doors, roofs, cementing, right? And he's like the full works, yo. And my brother-in-law, right, went to my dad and he was like, yo, man, I think I need some help with real estate, right? And my dad was like, okay, I'll help you. So my dad flipped his fucking property, did all the fucking work, yo. Flipped the property. And Pierre got slingshot out of financial misery. And Pierre gave his own father an amazing funeral and a fucking plot, yo. Or like some kind of like wall where you put the body inside of it. And that's what Pierre did for his dad. So Pierre fucked over my dad, and it was just some fucked up shit with the family. So Pierre is my niece's dad, which is my sister's baby dad. And yeah. So throughout the whole process, my two sisters was attacking me, trying to like give my dad a better funeral or burial or cremation process. And they were just attacking me. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is all of this? Like, why am I going through this weird shit, yo? So this was yesterday. Today is Juneteenth. And yesterday, after going through this the whole week, it clicked in my brain. I was like, if I had paid for this up front, if I never lost my job, I would have never seen this type of behavior. Like when them not showing up to put up money, I would have never seen that part. Because I would have said, hey, don't worry about it. I got it. I'll pay for it. Y'all, you know, that would have been me. So typically, when a loved one passes away, everybody got to rush. Like, I don't care. I love this man. Here, take $1,000. Take this all I got. Take this shit. Here, I got 3,000. Here, I got 2,000. Boom. There's all the fucking money, yo. But it didn't work out that way. So, these people, sisters, these people, they screwed over my dad and me. They was probably complaining about my dad taking care. Oh yeah, over the years, going through the Great Depression of Trump, going through COVID, they was calling me bums and you need to stop leeching off of dad and you're not a real man. And I was getting a fucking attacked, yo. I'm like, but I'm taking care of my pops. My pops was taking care of me. I'm fixing the whole world. And yeah, so that happened. And it was like a weird experience. So the two sisters, they're planning a memorial. And I'm choosing to opt out because there's another lesson in this process. And the lesson is that if I don't show up, they will do another vicious, psychotic, or psychological rant attacking me on how I was a bad son. I didn't show up for his memorial and this and that. And I think that's actually a good way to always handle a situation like this if you are a similar victim in my situation. So, let me see. Sibling rivalry. Now, next up on this this update of my dad's post-mortem legacy. Post-mortem legacy. I'm going into death certificates. So I ran into a bunch of trouble attempting to gain access to my dad's bank accounts in order to see what money is in there in order to help pay for the funeral. So the thing is, there's a weird, I guess you could call it a supernatural criminal racketeering situation going on when it comes to government management, the spiritual hierarchy, the King James Bible, and the British royal family and all of the descendants. And this is what's weird about it. So on one hand, right, you never want somebody to basically have the ability to print up a death certificate if you did not die, because they could steal your assets with that death certificate, right? So you have to go through a funeral process, and the funeral people get that information and register it, right? But because you don't have the money for the funeral, you can't go through the funeral process, and then you have to pay for the death certificate. So you first have to cremate the body, which is thousands of dollars. After that process, you get a death certificate for $20 per each one. So it's like a weird devil trap. So you do not want people to have that paper and take your assets. So this is actually the best way to do it, right? So how to release ourselves from that devil trap? All the governments in the whole world need to authorize this new financial system in a new form. And I came up with this $1 million healthcare credit card for everybody. And 10,000 of that credit card, of the healthcare credit card, off of that goes to funeral expenses. So all funeral homes must, by law, give out a form that will claim this money, because the money is there. Based on the macroeconomic formulas, the money will always be there. And they collect the money. Even though the family doesn't have the money, they fill out the federal form in order to pull that money. But they must follow through with this cremation process, because this is causing emotional distress. It's criminal activities within the whole situation, because when the Republicans crash the system, what happens is inflation goes up, and then you can't even reach out to like scrape pennies just to save your family's property or your family's situation. So the Republicans, which had a head start for 300 years in the United States of America, will swoop in and buy your property at a discount, while you end up going homeless with your dependents that you have to take care of in the event you are their caretaker. So, for example, my little brother is a diagnosed schizophrenic, and I have to be his caretaker now. So I've been struggling with the whole Civil War nonsense ever since it started. So that's my solution to ending that crisis, and it will. It's a win-win, because the funeral home will always have their money, so they don't have to trip about not getting paid. They just have to process this shit so we could get the death certificates and properly set up the estate for my dad, because it's racketeering. It's a criminal racketeering situation. So in addition to that, they stealing life insurance policies from the gay community with the King James Bible. So it's an instrument of a crime. The FBI got to look into this shit. And all the countries, the CIA has to look into it, because they are international. So, yeah, that's all I got. I'm moving on to death certificates. Paying for funeral services. So yeah, there is a legal process to basically that is the legal process. The funeral home cannot release a death certificate until you fully dispose of the body, right? So that's normal. That's how it should be. But then there's a legal macroeconomic consequences when I'm in a position that I can't manage my dad's estate properly. And that's like entrapment, presidential entrapment. If a cop put a gun in your head saying, hey, go kill somebody or I'm gonna kill you, that's police entrapment. So this whole system, it needs to be repaired as fast as possible. So the next thing is 6/14/2026 is a trinity. So this is what I mean. Apparently that's the certified day of, or the certified, I don't know the lingo. The day my dad is, date of death, certified date of death, right, would be June 14th, 2026. That's my dad's death. So Jesus Christ died. So my dad is a Christ being higher than me, based on a video I did before. And let's say Jesus and his dad are like level 2 Christ angels, which is capital G, lowercase o, lowercase d. And then God, capital G, capital O, capital D, is Jesus's granddad and Jesus's father's dad, right? So this God is their father and great-grandfather. No, grandfather. Father and grandfather. So if I'm fixing their garbage that they did to the universe, I'm a higher level Christ angel, because they don't care about the life and death that happens, because they make life. So animals eat animals, and the circle of life and nature and all of that. Eventually animals eat us after we eat the animals. So they don't care about misery, because there's parts of life where there is no misery. And it's like they're just letting it on autoplay, the universe of life. So I would be a level 4 Christ angel, and my dad would be a level 5, because I have higher respect for my earth dad, right? So today, I mean, this year is a special year. And this year is a special year. For the Trinity, because my dad's legacy will overpower Trump's nonsense, and my legacy will overpower Trump's nonsense. And basically, this special day of June 14th doesn't have to end or always be stigmatized by the damages Trump caused. So yeah, this is the Sunday, June 14th, 2026, because the days are going to flip-flop. But June 14th is a very powerful day in the history of humanity. So, Juneteenth happened today. I was so burdened with the whole week, because I befriended a lady. She's like around 65 years old. And she's going through her own crisis. So she's almost homeless. And I'm just like helping her out, because she's like bouncing around from different places, different Airbnbs, and, places to stay. And I'm like, yo, I don't want nothing like bad to happen to her. So I had to manage that. But she's going through her own mental health crisis. So it's like the whole situation is about her. She's always like a me situation. And she procrastinates a lot. So I've known her over a year now, and she knows I was caring for my dad. So one of these like things she did was she had to move one time, and she doesn't really do much, and she had to like pack her stuff up, and I'll come in and just load up all the stuff and then move it and unload it. And she didn't do that, so she procrastinated. She waited till the last few days to basically pack up her stuff. And Saturday, right, I got fired May 25th of 2026 from my cab driving job. And I had to make some quick decisions. So Saturday, I bought a car. I financed a car. So I put almost all my savings down on it. So I had like $10,000. The total cost at the end of the deal was like $8,000. I had like $2,000 left. So I used my car because the Saturday we could not get a truck to move her out because all the trucks was taken. Like I was on hold for like 40 minutes one time trying to get a moving truck for her. And I was like, oh shit, this ain't gonna work out. So it worked out for her because I bought a little compact SUV, and I took like 6 trips back and forth from where she went to. She moved 10 miles away. It takes a half an hour to get there. And it took me like probably more than 6 trips going back and forth. And I worked the whole day Saturday, which was the day I'm supposed to go food shopping for my dad. Then throughout the whole night, like, so from like 12 a.m. Sunday morning to like 9 a.m. Sunday morning, like I'm tired as shit. So this lady, I'm like pissed the fuck off because now I'm so tired I can't go food shopping for my dad because it's Saturday and Sunday. So now it's gonna have to like extend into Monday, and I'm like, did he eat all the food? Is he okay? And it's like, she knows I'm my dad's caretaker. So I'm pissed off because now it's like 8 or 9 a.m. And I'm like, yo, I can't do another trip, yo. I'm about to go the fuck home and take a nap. And she was like, no, don't. Come on, let's finish this, please. Come on, why are you being like this? Stop, yo. And I'm like, yo, this bitch is fucking crazy. Like, what the fuck am I getting myself into? Like, I just did all this shit, and she's like, I already presented to her that, like, I gotta take care of my pops. And she was like, she's like dilly-dallying or like taking her good old time Saturday into Sunday. So when I started getting pissed off, I started saying, all right, you know what? I'm gonna leave all your shit here and you're gonna figure it out. So when I started doing that, she started picking up the pace a little bit because I was dead serious, yo. So that started throughout the whole day Saturday because I was pissed off. She wasn't fucking ready. She was still packing and cleaning. On the last day, she got to move the fuck out. Packing and cleaning. So that was like a nightmare, yo. And it happened again because the other place she moved to, they raised the rent. And she's like, come on, I need to get out of here, please. I can't afford this. I'm going to go broke and this and that. I'm like, okay. So I got the truck, the U-Haul truck, because in my own card, right? I told her, I'm like, I'm about to get the truck. You're going to pay me back this money. So I went, and this was yesterday. So this is Juneteenth Friday today. So this was Thursday that I went and I got the truck for this lady. So, I didn't charge her for moving at all, right? So the first time, $0 I charged her. She paid the gas money. And then, the second time, which was yesterday, I charged her $0. She just paid for the truck. So she also knows I got to take care of my little brother. And she knows our house situation. So Jillian, which is our mother, struggles with mental health issues. And she doesn't know how to like turn on a kerosene heater properly. She gets scared of it or something. So this lady, right, did the same shit to me, knowing I got things I got to do. So I got the truck. It was probably like around 12 or 1 p.m. And I got on the phone. I'm like, all right, I'm heading up there right now. She starts saying, no, not now, not now. It's too early. It's too early. Stop this. Like, why are you doing this? Like, don't come this early. Come after like 5 or 6 p.m. Like, I'm not ready yet. Like, the last time I dropped all the shit off, a bunch of stuff was packed up and she didn't need to touch it. So, like, her brain doesn't work right. So, I'm like, all right. She started harassing me and I'm pissed the fuck off. She started calling my phone not to show up until like 5 or 6 p.m. So, no, 5:30 or 6 p.m. So I was like, all right, whatever, man. So I go eat, right? And I went to Wendy's and I started headed up there. So I got there at 5:30. And I'm just like sitting there. I'm like frustrated. I'm thinking like, I don't want to do this shit, man. This lady's a weirdo. So around 6 o'clock, she calls me and I'm like, 6 p.m. She was like, are you coming? I was like, I'm outside. So I'm packing up all her shit, right? And it filled up a little bit higher than half of a 10-footer truck, right? A U-Haul 10-footer. So it's like you had space up top, but going from like the front to the back, it was like halfway high, right? So that's how much stuff she had. Moving out of a hotel room. So I'm like packing it up. I'm the one packing it on the cart, wheeling it down, loading up the truck, going back up, packing it up, wheeling it down, going on a truck, unpacking it. And I did that probably like 12 times. And the carts are like 6 foot high. So I filled up the carts pretty much high. And this lady, yo, she's a manipulator. So, she threw up the fact that she gave $300 to my dad GoFundMe. Like, she tried making me feel bad that she put $300 to my dad's GoFundMe. That my dad died. Like, my dad just died. I was reaching out to friends for help. And she was like, why are you being like this? You're such a jerk. I gave you $300 for your dad's GoFundMe. Like, you're a bad person, you know, shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? So, on the way to her new location, which is down by the airport, which is pretty far from where she was, I told her straight up, I'm going to stop at my house and I'm going to check on my family, because it was at 10 p.m. Hold up. It was like at 9:30 p.m. when we finished. So I started at 6 and it's at 9:30 p.m. So she wants me to go straight to the airport area to unload all her stuff. And I'm thinking at the time, I'm like, yo, I got to check on my family. My schizophrenic brother and my bipolar mother. And she really was upset about that shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on? She was like, why are you stopping? You can't stop because I need to be at this place. Please, like, don't stop. Just go straight there. I'm like, I'm going to my house. I'm going to go turn on the stove so my mom could cook food. And I'm going to check on my family. So she got fucking pissed off, yo. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this? So I'm doing this moving shit for free for her. And she's literally like talking shit about how she put $300 to my dad's GoFundMe. And that, like, because I'm trying to manage the whole situation to the best of my ability, she's like manipulating me with psychology games because she got a master's or a bachelor's degree in psychology. She went to some Ivy League school in psychology and her field is psychology. So I told her straight up, I'm like, look, I would never let you fucking manipulate me. Like, that's just not going to happen. So we went. She told me as we're driving there, after I told her that I'm stopping at my house, she told me we need to be there by 11. The check-in closes at 11. So I get to my house around like 10:05, right? And I lit the kerosene heater for my mom so she could make a little bit of food. Because we lost our dad. We can't afford to eat out as much. So we got to like start cooking up food and stuff. And I'm trying to manage inflation in my brain and prices and like how much food I could eat. Do I got to like eat once a day just to survive the next 30 days? Like, I'm trying to like process all this shit, yo. So we go down to the hotel place by the airport because the lady's getting a good deal because the other place raised their prices because whatever reason, and she can't afford that. She's going to go broke. So she goes in, does a check-in, and then she says, oh, the check-in is all night. They're open all night, so we could have checked in anytime. So I unload her shit. Like there was the parking space, and then right there is her room. So I just unload everything. Boom, boom, boom. Unload. Because I'm trying to go to fuck home. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm stressed out. This week is weird. People are weird. And I'm like, yo. So I go home and I just sat in the truck for like hours, yo. And I was just trying to like process and cope with everything. So that was this weird week I'm having. Now it gets weirder because my siblings, they didn't want to like put up the money to do a proper cremation for my dad, an initial cremation. And the price of the funeral came down. So it was like $6,500 with possible extra expenses initially for between Wednesday of this week and next Wednesday. So I set up a GoFundMe for $8,000, right? Because I didn't confirm with the lady the cost of a minister and any other items that I might need. So the GoFundMe was for $8,000. And I'm just so like fucked up because I never did a GoFundMe before, and the library is closed. So anything financial, I do it at the library because they got better digital security on their systems. So the library is closed today and tomorrow, apparently, because of the Juneteenth holiday. So I have on Monday to go to the library to set up the GoFundMe stuff to figure out how to process it. So I raised with that lady that I just helped move. She gave me $300. My friend Tammy was going to give me $100. And a business associate gave me $10. And then a former coworker gave me $20. So that's all the money I raised with my circle of acquaintances. And my sisters and them, they didn't even try. They didn't try to raise anything. They attacked me saying I was begging for money. And it's embarrassing and I should be ashamed of myself and all kinds of stuff. So, that was a weird week after finding my dad unresponsive on my birthday. So, it's a stressful week. And it's emotional distress, apparently. So yeah, because the price got reduced, I want to refund all of the GoFundMe money that I raised because I think it's unfair to these people. So my dad's friend, he gave $500 also. So he gave $500. So I raised around almost $1,000 on my end, for my dad. So through other people, because I'm not working. I got ripped off because my dad didn't want to sign up for the caregiver situation because he didn't want the state to take the house because the state makes a claim against the house, and then they would, whatever they paid me, they will take it off of the house as a lien or something. So he didn't want to do that. So I never got paid for the full 2 years I was being my dad's caretaker. So I got fucked over with that. And I have no money like that. So my sister's was always working and collecting unemployment when she wasn't working. And my other sister was always working or whatever. So they have way more money than me. And Tammy told me that you could go take a loan against your 401k and take out money to pay for funerals. So my friend Tammy, she told me that. So both my sisters have 401ks and stuff like that. So the family had the $7,000 to bury my dad. Possibly any other expenses, we could have probably came up with that too. So they just didn't want to do it. I don't know why they're attacking me the way they did. They're just full of a lot of anger and rage for no fucking reason. And yeah. So it's Juneteenth. It's a black people holiday in America. And my dad was basically mocked for looking like bin Laden by black people and white people. So, like, if my dad had to be an extra in a bin Laden movie, I'm pretty sure he would get picked. So, not an extra, but the main character for bin Laden. I'm pretty sure my dad, he would have been like in one of the top 10s of getting picked to play bin Laden in a movie. So my dad, he always drove to Georgia. He never took the plane. He probably was stuck in a situation where he took the plane like once or twice, maybe 3 times, but for the most part, he would drive. And he just didn't like the plane. So this GoFundMe thing, I want to refund everybody, even the crazy lady that is holding this $300 against me after I helped her move without charging her a dime. I want to like pay her back her $300 from the GoFundMe. And I already talked to my dad's best friend, the Jamaican guy, John Russell. I was like, listen, they reduced the funeral prices because my family didn't come up with the money, so I got to do the cheaper version. And he said, yeah, do whatever you have to do. I was like, all right, I'm going to send you back the $500 you sent me in Western Union. He's like, no, man, don't do that. Just keep it for the family. You guys manage it the best you can. Do what you have to do. So I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate this, yo, so much. And that's John Russell, my dad's best friend, legacy. So the rest of the people, I'm going to reach out. I'm going to try to see what they want to do. And I'm going to go from there. So if I want to withdraw the money, I would have to go to the library on Monday because today's Juneteenth, and I got to do the withdrawal setup for the GoFundMe because I didn't have time to like go read through the process and stuff like that. So I had called the funeral lady and she said she needed the money Wednesday. Today is Friday. If we wanted to do the normal funeral service. So today is Friday, Wednesday. I wasn't able to pull the money from the GoFundMe because I needed to set up the accounts. But I didn't have the full $3,500 on Wednesday because my sisters and my brother-in-law was being idiots. And I didn't have the money. So I told the lady, I'm like, all right, so what's the next process? I guess we got to do the cheaper one. And I asked her, I'm like, so I guess I'm wasting my time if I come up there and bring the clothes from my dad, right? She was like, yeah, because we're not going to be able to dress my dad because it's not a service we're paying for. So I appreciate the poor man's cremation versus the rich man's cremation because it shows the character of this family and the family dynamics. And yeah, and I also appreciate all nursing homes that uses this system because I think it's healthy for truth to be revealed. So yeah, even if I did want to pay on Wednesday, I would have had to go Thursday to the library to do the GoFundMe and then go withdraw the money and then go to the funeral home or however they do it and pay the lady. And within that time frame between managing my household for my little brother and this whole funeral stuff, Thursday, which is yesterday, I would have been like I would have showed up to help the lady move around like 5 p.m., 6 p.m. So she would have still gotten help that she needed. And yeah. So I did research and they said 16% of GoFundMe's fail. Like they don't reach the quota and they don't raise any money at all. So I think it's like 83% of the GoFundMe's. Oh yeah, 16% raises $0, I think, and 83% never makes its goal. So I am one of the 83% because I raised some money, but I didn't reach the goal in time. And I am proud to be in this group of people because so many other people are in the same situation as me. And in this video, I basically developed a plan of action to help all of them. Anybody in this same scenario, same circumstances, and it's hard and it's brutal. And yeah, I'm proud to be one of you guys that went through this process. And I spoke for an hour and almost 15 minutes. And I think I covered every single thing that I had to say for this week. And I'm gonna wrap this video up with, that's all I got. Gotta go.